Agatha Christie Toward Zero explores the aftermath of a scandalous celebrity divorce in England, 1936. Today, I'm excited to welcome Oliver Jackson-Cohen, who plays the role of Neville Strange, and Ella Lily Highland, who plays the role of his ex-wife, Audrey. Both of you, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to Unscripted.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so as I mentioned, your characters, were once married, but now they're exes, but there's still some lingering feelings, and they just decide, let's go spend a summer together, make it Three's Company, if you will, with the new wife. So, if you were Audrey and Neville's friend, what advice would you give them before going on this trip for the summer?
Do it.
Would you?
No, absolutely not. It's quite a strange. Yeah, no, it's quite. You'd say like, well, you've lost your mind. That's
yeah.
Absolutely.
You're like, oh, you're gonna.
It sounds incredibly unhealthy.
Together. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like walking into a hellhole pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never do it. But in a way, what's so clever is that with the show and the setup is that you question it, but you sort of don't really question. You don't really know what anyone's intentions are, and so it's quite vague in that you sort of accept that this is the situation, as ludicrous as it is. That this is the kind of the setup that these people find themselves in, and it does make for great conflict and entertainment, I would say.
Absolutely.
I would say, I mean, we all live for drama, as much as we maybe want to admit it or not. Drama's always fun to dabble in, Okay, so what would you say for both of you? What were your favorite parts of taking on the role of these characters? And it's Agatha Christie. She is like known as the Queen of Crime.
Yeah.
I think they're so layered. Like the characters are so layered, and that was what was really fun. And I think what's fun about this kind of a project is you don't really know everything. Like you kind of have to learn it as you go, because there's like, first of all, there's layers of like what they intend. And I think for these two characters, it's very much like they're in like this elitist playground, which there's this sort of like naivety to and a childlike quality in, which can make you maybe as an audience like forgive them a little bit in moments, because you're like, are they just, you know what I mean? Are they naive, and is this got to do with love? But it's a very warped reality, and I think trying to understand that came through like so many conversations we had together, like late night on the phone, being like, why would they do that? What does this mean? And the same with Sam, our director, and it felt like, yeah, completely collaborative, but also like just really interesting to learn like what makes these people tick in this really specific era, in this really specific class, and their circumstance, which is like fame and celebrity, and how that kind of warps your perception of the world.
And excess and entitlement and all of this stuff. But also, the dynamic, we spoke about this quite a lot before starting filming, about this dynamic that's at play between, Audrey and Neville is quite reminiscent of Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. This sort of absolute kind of need and codependence and toxicity that exists, and I think that sort of playing that and trying to figure out that was a real kind of treat to get to kind of play with Ella and with Sam, to try and kind of figure out what the boundaries and were their boundaries and why were they getting crossed, and we sort of see this dynamic continue to play out even nowadays. We've all partaken in that.
Definitely. I feel like the words codependency and toxicity are just like mainstream these days,
Yeah, but that's the thing. But it's interesting. She wrote about this back in, before there were words for it, and that's kind of a testament to her and why her stories have lived on. Is that she had a real eye for this. I don't know how you'd even explain it, but a real eye for detail.
Yeah, detail, like human condition kind of type thing. Yeah. And while the cast, was amazing, I mean, there were so many different storylines too happening. So you really do have to keep your head on a swivel when you're watching. But I have to ask, Angelica Houston, Hollywood royalty, how is that, working with her, learning from her, maybe teaching her as well?
Teaching her.
don't know if we taught
I don't
her
know. I think we
anything.
taught her nothing.
We didn't teach her
We didn't need to
anything.
teach her anything because
No.
she knows it all.
She knows everything. She's incredible though.
She really is.
She's just an absolute star. Like, she's incredible.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's sort of interesting because I feel like you earn that kind of status of like Hollywood royalty or sort of these icons, and she has very much earned it. And meeting her and working with her, you can see why. She is unbelievably gracious and
Yeah.
generous, which is not always true of people that have reached a certain level. But the generosity and the kindness and the curiosity was quite inspiring to sort of witness, you know. So we were very, very lucky, but there was a sort of like fear that came on set where it was like you were saying earlier. It's like that. Angelica's going to be in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, guys. Everyone's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And then it was like that. Six days. 6 days. I'm going to be here 6 days.
And then you're terrified, and you're
like
trying
that.
to be chill about it, being like, "Oh, she's just like anybody else. It's fine." But you know, so
Yeah.
it kind of ramps up the stakes, you know. And then she completely bursts that bubble by just being like, "I'm really nervous," or do you know the saying
Yeah,
stuff that's
just
like
like-
being a human and an artist, and like, yeah, she's incredible. I'm completely in with you.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of, I said, you know, what did you teach Angelica Houston? I do want to ask both of you, you know, what is a catchphrase or maybe a word that you might impart upon somebody that is into acting, getting into acting, making that leap, because it's a scary, kind of shaky career. But I mean, you've both done it, and people do it all the time. So, any words of advice?
Don't do it. No. What words of advice?
Actually, can I say something that you said to me before, that when I was freaking out one day?
Yeah.
You said, I was like, God, I don't know if I'm I'm just I'm not getting this. And you were just like, never underestimate what you get for free. As a human being, like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you feel like, I don't know, like you need to like reach up in order to become a character, to kind of be different to who you are, but actually the humanity of like who you are is enough.
Yeah.
And you're enough, and you should go for it.
Yeah.
Is that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe that was really specific advice for me.
That's good. I'm going to
What I get for free.
I think
There you go.
because I'm amazing.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like is you have to you like it's a lot of hard work, and I don't say that in like our job is hard. Our job is not hard. It's complicated and strange at times, but it's you have to be kind of prepared, I think, to really want to do it and to because it's a strange and brutal kind of industry, you know, on the one hand, but so I think an awful lot of hard work, and know why you're doing it, because a lot of people, I think, do get into businesses without being quite clear about that.
Do it for the money. No, I'm kidding. Do
Exactly.
it for the
Take the
craft.
money
If you want to
and
do it for the
run.
money, great, but like be aware
Right,
of that.
right.
You know
But
what
do
I
it
mean?
do it for the craft. Well, Oliver and Ella, thank you both so much. I thoroughly enjoyed this. And Agatha Christie Towards Zero premieres Wednesday, April 16th on BritBox. Thanks so much again.
Thank
you,
you.
Madison.